Hello, I'm here with Mr. Smith. He's our 30-year-old male, and he's recently been married and had a baby. And last week I gave him some homework, and we're going to go over that and to see how his day went. And Mr. Smith here is an actor, and this is for educational purposes only. Okay? And I'm an actress too, by the way. Okay. So, Mr. Smith, how was your week last week?
Long, tiring, stressful.
Okay. And how did you deal with any of that? Did you deal with it a little bit differently after some of the tools that I gave you?
Well, I didn't sleep as much as I normally do.
Okay.
I kind of, that's my go-to whenever I'm feeling overwhelmed or anything like that, or like I said, depressed.
Okay.
I just go to sleep.
So that's improved.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Mhm.
Okay. You felt you had a little bit better time last week with the baby?
I feel like it was better this week than other weeks. Just having a baby. Very, very stressful.
Okay. So I had you fill out the mood system rating.
Yeah.
Your depression, how did you rate that?
Well, I actually rated it as a number 6.
Okay.
I think, again, it was better than last week's rating after you gave me those tools to work with. So,
Okay.
but I still, feel depressed.
Sure. And we'll continue to work on that and see if we can help you
Okay.
through those issues. And what about your anxiety? Any changes there?
Pretty much the same with the anxiety.
Okay.
I don't know if that's gonna ever change, but hopefully.
Okay. We can change. I'm gonna give you a lot of tools to work with to help you change some of your thought processes, to change, some of your behaviors. Remember I explained to you how, your thoughts lead to feelings and feelings lead to actions. And so if we can control your thoughts, then all that can change.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go over your homework that you did last week, or that I gave you. You wrote down a couple of situations.
Mm-hmm.
So what was a particular situation that you want to talk about?
So one particular situation is like my wife. I know she's busy,
Mm-hmm.
but she's leaving all the clothes all over the floor and stuff like that.
Okay.
And that just irks me so much.
Sure. Okay. So what were the feelings behind that?
So my feelings behind it was, I was like angry.
Okay, angry.
And when I got angry, I felt bad about it as well too, because I know my wife is busy as well too, especially
Right.
since we just had our child.
Sure.
So I felt bad about that.
So maybe some guilt.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they kind of brought me down, I guess you could say, to the depressive mood as well too.
Okay. Okay. And what were your thoughts along with those feelings?
My thoughts, well, like I said, I felt,
What was going through your mind?
Maybe I felt like more of a burden to her, because again, with the child and everything, I know she's doing a lot, and me having my, disorder, my depression and everything, and it kind of, I just felt overwhelmed, a little sad as well too, especially with the anger as well too, and then feeling guilt as well. So it's just,
Okay.
and then also since she's spending more time with the child, now with me, it kind of, I don't know, maybe,
Jealousy?
I don't want to say jealousy,
Okay.
but I guess I shouldn't feel like that, but
Well,
Maybe
that's
it's
natural. It's a change. I mean, you're used to having your wife all to yourself, and now you've got this big change, and for all of you, it's a big change.
Right.
So let's turn these thoughts around. Let's go back to the situation. Okay. What was the situation again? She was leaving her clothes on the floor.
Mhm.
Okay. And so instead of feeling the feelings that, your negative feelings, how could you have turned that around?
Well, even though I did get angry and then I felt guilty about being angry, maybe I could have thought, oh, well, of course she's busy.
Sure.
I can do something about this. I can at least,
Mm-hmm.
do my load,
Okay.
Not just like do my load like laundry, but like actually help more with, the
Okay.
situation. And
Right. Or maybe look at the situation differently, like, how could you have looked at the situation differently?
Right.
Like, instead of getting angry about the clothes on the floor.
Like I said, I could have been maybe just, oh, she forgot, she just dropped it on the floor. I mean,
Mm-hmm. She's busy,
Yeah.
I think different things
right.
changes, okay. Was there any other situation that you wanted to go over?
The baby crying all the time.
Okay. So how's that going?
This is totally something new for me,
Right.
Because before, family members have children, oh, play with the child starts crying, oh, here you go, here's
Right.
your baby. But now, this is mine, and it's, again, overwhelming, and
Mhm.
it's just, and then anxiety on top of it as well too, because I don't want to, the baby's so fragile, and it's just, oh, and then my wife is on eggshells as well too, since it's our first child,
Right.
so it's like, well, don't do this and don't that, and it aggravates me as well too.
Okay. So you felt aggravated.
Yeah.
What are some other thoughts that go through your head? Or feelings, excuse me.
Her feelings.
Your
Oh,
feelings.
My feelings. Well, like I said, with the aggravation and then just worry, because I have a life that I have to take care of,
Mhm.
a life besides my own,
Right. Okay.
So still the anxiety,
Sure.
stresses of life and stuff like that.
Okay.
Well, another thing is, since, I was looking up on the internet the other day, and it costs almost $200 and some $1,000 to take care of a child.
Oh my goodness,
That's
yeah.
throughout their whole entire lifetime, and it just, we don't have money like this to take care of. And what if I have another child? It's just thoughts and just going and going.
Constant thoughts.
Goodness, it's just.
Okay. There's something you can do too. I mean, when you start having these constant thoughts, you can just tell yourself, stop. And then, if you can recognize it and you're having all these racing thoughts, just maybe, I don't know, stomp your foot, say stop. And then try to divert your attention away from it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can recognize that these thoughts are negative and not helping you. I mean, I guess you have the child. It's here. And you're doing it so far, right?
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying, so.
Yeah. I think you've got this.
I'm glad that you think so.
Yes, I think you're doing fine, and I think it's normal to, all these reactions that you're having are normal.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of, trying to help yourself control your thoughts. I had something that I wanted you to go through. Challenging your depressive and anxious thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
You can just look at that there and okay. So we will go through that little form there.
Mm-hmm.
What is a situation that makes you feel depressed?
Makes me feel depressed.
Mm-hmm. A normal thought.
not getting a work assignment done at the proper time, and maybe my boss getting on to me about it.
Okay.
You know, even though I've been trying my hardest, but it can be, again, like an overwhelming feeling. Just I tried, but they're like, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. And I'm like, well, I didn't have all the proper tools, or you didn't. But I don't want to blame my boss for that. But it's
Sure.
like, it feels like, I don't know.
Okay.
That's what bothers me a lot. And I get into the depressive mood sometimes.
Okay.
It just makes me want to just walk out the door.
All right.
And it's not the first time, because I have walked out.
That sounds like a little bit of anxiety, and unfortunately with major depressive disorder, which you've been diagnosed with, I mean, there's a little bit of anxiety that goes with that. And so we'll kind of go through a little situation here with you and see if we can help you figure something different out. So for instance, let's, with your boss giving you a hard time. Okay, that worries you a lot, correct? What's the worst outcome that could, come that's giving you so much anxiety?
Fired.
You're fired, okay. And now we'll look at the best outcome.
Get a raise.
Okay, perfect.
Better position or something like that.
Okay, so those two things, the first one's causing you a lot of anxiety, the second one's giving you a lot of hope, and the third one is going to be the likely outcome. What would that be? Everything's gonna be okay.
Like I said, this is my thoughts, and I'm always worrying all the time. So I don't know. It, like I said, it caused me to be depressed, and I just want to stay at home, and not do anything, and just leave me alone type deal. But I can't do that.
Right, no, you can't, unfortunately. So we just need to, work through the negative thoughts.
Well, of course, I think I've been doing my best, so I feel like I do deserve that raise or anything
Okay.
like that, or a better position, but at the same time, so many more responsibilities.
Right.
I'm gonna have to
So-
take care of more stuff, and that, again, I'm just,
Sure. So you're worried about your job, and you're worried about not having the tools to do things, and your boss is getting on to you. The worst case scenario is you get fired. Best case scenario is you get a raise, you get a promotion. But the likely story would probably be that maybe everything's going to be okay, and
yeah.
I mean, really, when you've been working at your job for how long now?
It's been about 7 years now,
Right. So you must be doing something right.
I guess.
Keep you around that long. So
I guess
okay.
so, yeah.
Perfect. So we'll just try to work on, changing things around, and when you're having these anxieties, I want you to stop and think, okay, what's the worst case scenario? What's the best case scenario? And what's actually going to happen? And then we're going to imagine if it were the worst case scenario, okay? 1 week from now, would it really affect me? 1 month from now, would it affect me? And 1 year from now? So think about that in the situation we're talking about. The worst case scenario, I guess, is that you're gonna get fired. If that happened a week from now,
I'd definitely be depressed.
you would be depressed.
And I probably wouldn't want to get out of bed or do
Okay.
anything.
Oh, and then a month from then,
I don't know.
think you'd be out looking for jobs and
Hopefully, but
maybe even have a job by then?
I hope so.
What about a better job? One that pays more money?
Yeah, but money ain't everything, but
Okay,
if I can maybe do something that I like what I do,
okay,
but if I can find something that just makes me want to say, hey,
okay,
I'm going to work today.
right, that would be ideal. So maybe a month from now, after you've been fired, you're on to a better job, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then a year from, the worst case scenario happening, what would happen?
Well, if nothing worked out here, then I definitely would like to go maybe somewhere else, like another state or something, another city, and just start over.
Okay.
Or something like that.
Okay, so you could find a silver lining, I guess, in about a year. And your wife has a job,
Right. Yeah.
so you'd be okay there. And I know you told me that savings is really important to you, so it sounds like you guys do well there.
Yeah, we don't play around.
Good. That's really good, especially for a person your age and having a child. I think it's great.
Yes.
And then we'll go down here. Okay, so using your worst outcome and likely outcome from the above situation, describe your irrational thought.
My irrational thought.
Mm-hmm. You just got in trouble from your boss. Your boss is giving you a hard time. What's your irrational thought?
He's gonna kill me. No. He's probably getting ready to finally, this is the last straw, I'm done. Take your things and leave,
Okay. And then the rational thought, though.
Well, rational thought would probably be just, it's not what you think it's gonna be. Maybe he's just been getting on to you because he wants to possibly give you a raise or something like that. He just wants you to be prepared. Maybe, I don't know.
True.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's true. Could always be that. Okay. Well, so our time's about up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you another thought journal. Did that work pretty well for you to recognize your thoughts?
That helped, so. Yeah.
Okay, and we'll do that. Okay, and we can practice some of your challenging your anxious thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and trying to think about, okay, if something terrible happens, we're going to think things through a little bit better and see if that helps. Okay.
All
And
right.
so we'll just see you next time. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.